everyone. Thank you for joining today's webinar. We will be talking about somehow revolutionizing. Hard for me, French people, to talk about it. So revolutionizing marketing strategies. Sorry about that. Especially for fashion brands and their providers in China. So that's the purpose of the talk today. Just to introduce me, maybe I'm Benoît Raoul. I'm the CEO and founder of Duno Marketing. I have been working in this field for quite some years now, and today we have with us Annie Tong.
Hi everyone. So my name is Annie, and I am the marketing manager at Duno Marketing, and I am in charge of the communication and strategy for the company.
Okay, so, thank you. Yeah. Annie. Yeah, thanks. So first, I mean, you're all professional in this specific industry that is fashion, but we wanted to take a step back and go for the global trends a little bit. So in this McKinsey study, they were really pretty clear about the fact that I mean, fashion is expected to grow at some extent, especially for the luxury, affordable luxury level. Is expected to grow from 5 to 10% on a global scale. When we look at the luxury market for China, the numbers are really 9 to 14% of growth that is expected compared to Europe or US that are more between, let's say, 3 to 8, 5 to 10% in that aspect. Regarding the other part of the fashion, so more the fast fashion, the retail fashion, we have basically between negative 2% and positive 3%. So it makes a quite big change depending of which category of product you have. And it means for some of you today, we might be more in a market that have some growth perspective and ease at using some of the technology and techniques we will present. And for some of others, it means that you are more into a constraints budget, or it's harder for you. I mean, we have been listening all over the world, some of those retail chains that are closing because they are not able to generate enough money on a regular basis. So those 3 years of COVID have eat a lot of the businesses. So it make it maybe a bit more difficult for some of the businesses to be able to apply all the techniques, but we will be talking about different level of investments in different level of technologies that will revolutionize a little bit the marketing points. This revolution will happen with 4 different technologies that we have identified as core to the fashion business. One of it is the virtual try-on that is developing for a couple of years now, but it starts to be more and more efficient, especially with back technology like augmented reality. We can start to have a lot of good aspect on this. And even for taking measurements, there are some new technologies that allows with just a cell phone to take your measure pretty accurately that would allow to do made to measure or made to order kind of product really easily. AI, so AI is pretty I would say that's pretty visible out there with ChatGPT and all the news that we can hear on a global basis. So we'll be talking about that as well. Then you have blockchain. So I would say blockchain and metaverses have faded out a little bit with the ChatGPT trends now, but we believe there are core trends that will remain there and are present in daily activities, daily life, and they shouldn't be forgotten. So we will also talk about those two type of technologies, how they are included in some of the marketing campaigns or marketing actions that we can take in 2023. Also, we wanted to have a look at who are the key clients that everyone is trying to target. So we know every company is a bit different. You are not necessarily all aiming and going for the same kind of public, but the big trend for Gen Z is there in China. There is clearly a need to understand this culture. That is, if there is one trait that we want to take out, is really that they are looking for experience and not necessarily the product themselves anymore. and they are digital natives. They are grown up with their phone in their hands. They are spending a lot of time connected to digital products. And we need to give them experiences that they would appreciate. And we will talk more about it today. So digitalization of fashion, because this is really the topic we are talking about now, is kind of in the middle of a push-pull kind of model. We have on one side technologies coming that are pushed to the market, and we have a pool of demand from the users asking for more and more experiences. So this digitalization of the full industry, from sourcing the raw materials up to the consumer itself, we need to see that this revolution will impact marketing as well because of those two shifts that are engaging into the market. So that's the purpose of the presentation today. We are aiming at looking at those two aspects and see how we can embrace them to have some marketing ideas for you. So we will go through different aspects. So there is the rise of virtual influencers, the AI that we will talk about, blockchains, what can we do with this, the fashion personalization that will go with the metaverses, the 3D digital product creations and visualization. All of those are new technology or new trends that we will look at. And then we'll have at the end one case study to support some of those applications and a short conclusion. So let's start. The future of fashion is really about. You can go to previous slide. The future of fashion. Previous one. Yeah, the future of fashion is really about the trends. So that's why we were taking. We'll have a look at those emerging trends that we just mentioned, and we have taken into consideration, so you can move to the next slide now, the constraints aspect. How much digitalization will cost me? I'm sure this is one of your questions because you have to consider it. You cannot really forget about it. But at the same time, how do you make the best use of your budget? You have to serve the business from awareness to lead generation. How are you helping the sales to achieve the drive to store? You have certainly a lot of different questions at those levels. So we have that in mind, and we will try it when we come with solutions, try to come with these ideas. And in order to do that, we will move. Yeah, you can go to next slide. We will move to three different aspects each time. So we'll take one emerging trend. So what is the key trends? What are the technology behind a little bit to understand it? And then look at what we call advanced case. Usually the biggest company are doing some amazing things. We cannot all follow, I would say, the Nike or the really big company. They have huge budgets, but they are trying, they are making proof of concepts for us. It's really good to look at it. And then what could be our marketing ideas for 2023, understanding some of the constraints for some of the businesses. So we have to discuss about potential actions that can be put into place. So let's start with this menu. Can you talk a little bit about this trend to us, Annie?
Yeah, sure. So thank you, Benoit, for this introduction. So the first trend we will look at today is the rise of virtual influencer. So a virtual influencer can be defined as a fictional individual, and it is mostly used for marketing purposes, especially in social media-based strategies. So they can range from independently created avatars to official brand personalities, and they can represent a company or a brand in multiple aspects of the digital world. So like the evolution of fashion as a whole, influencers have also been evolving alongside the increasing digitalization of the fashion industry. So now virtual influencers have become something of a norm in the marketing world. So the rise of virtual influencer can also be explained by the many benefits that can come along with them. So for instance, a virtual influencer can never get sick, so we can always rely on them. They remain loyal to your brand, And also, they don't have the capability to cause any scandals that could harm your brand. And finally, instead of finding someone that is famous, now brands can really start to promote their brand by creating their own stories with their own influencer. And now we will look at some cases.
So yes, we have taken two cases here, but the purpose is really to see we have Adidas here with Alex Hunter, we have Vogue that use this character. I actually forgot her name now, but we have those two characters. What does it take? What are the technology behind those advanced cases? So we have two cases. We have a character each time. That character is in 3D. So one is very realistic. We can feel kind of a football player there. We can have that feeling. The other one from Vogue is semi-realistic in a sense. So it's obviously a humanoid, but it's also more like a doll in a sense, but wearing clothes that we could wear on our side. So it's a exaggerated portrait of a female woman, basically here. The two also shows really clearly that they can actually wear some clothing. And this is an important aspect of it. So basically, we have a character that can wear dress, shoes, t-shirts. They can really engage into that. And how do we reach this? So we need to create a 3D character, and we need to uh, create for that character what we call a skeleton. And that skeleton will allow to fit clothing to them. So when we create a specific clothes, then we need to also explain to that clothes how to fit the skeleton. So there is a little bit of technology in the background. It's not necessarily an easy step to create this. Another point that we need to create here is the scene. So those characters appear in scenes. So we can see the football player looks like a stadium background. We can see for the Vogue character, she is in different cities, different places. So modern cities with concrete in the picture in the middle or on a boat on the other one. You really need to create that environment. And it's also complex to create those 3D environments in which you will put your character. So we have amazing rendering, but it's a significant investment to reach this kind of ability. And then you need to create a full personality to those virtual influencers. They exist. They have a personality. They have some characteristics and traits that you need to show on different social media. So here for the Adidas case, it's really clear. It's Alex Center is having his own social media account and it will exist. Same for the Vogue character. She has her own social media accounts and she will behave, exist, create a personality slowly by slowly. So you're creating a character. So it has all the positive aspects that Ting was mentioning before, but it also somehow difficult to create all the backstories for that person to have a real life and interact on a regular basis with their followers. So in terms of ideas, if you can switch to the next slide. On our side at Dunho, but also with our, let's say, friends agency, Brainsonic and Rich, we do believe into the power of illustration. And here we took a case that we have been executing for a brand, a fashion brand, Cheruti. We have here really some other way to create kind of virtual influencer. So we created this character, and we are using that character on social media, on advertising at different level. But it's just an illustration, so it's way easier to put into place. You can also here we have represented different type of suits. We were talking about a men's suit brand. And we also have the feeling of textures. If you go into details, you can see that we have used different textures, different ways to represent the characters. And we make that characters same appear into a scene, appear into different aspects, and we can play with it. So we believe this illustration is something that we can do, and it's also something that can be done pretty easily with, let's say, a significantly lower entry barrier than creating a full virtual influencer.
Okay, thank you, Benoit. So the next trend we will look at today is AI to generate videos and images. So now with AI technology, we are able to generate images and video in a matter of seconds. So for fashion brands, it means being able to showcase a whole new fashion collection that doesn't exist yet, or telling brand stories with impacting visual supports, covering fashion shows, or providing 360 degrees views of products without the need of having a physical model or renting an expensive venue. And now let's look at a few cases.
Yeah, so this AI generation is really something that is coming. It's coming pretty fast, and we have two ways to take it. We have pure AI creation that can create 3D rendering that are pretty impressive. So let's say generating items that are actually in real motion in real life, and this is really really nice to see, and that can be generated as you mentioned. I would say in a matter of seconds, but it's even less than that because it's imperceptible for the user. We also have other ways to take those images that are AI generated or by algorithm generated. At the top here, we have a partner, Smart Pixel, that is doing an amazing work at generating photorealistic products that can be used for e-commerce, for example. So you can have customization to a certain extent where it's automatically generated. And it looks realistic, so people can have a 3D view on their products and have a feeling of what they will receive if they purchase online, for example. So those technology are I would say in building. They are not finalized yet, but they will become more and more visible, more and more available to brands in the near future. So you should start to play with it. In order to activate it, you can go to the next slide. We have shared a thought that we discussed with System in Motion, one of our partner as well. What is the suggestion here? So you may have a DAM, so a digital asset management system in your organizations, a place where you look for the pictures of your industry and of your products, and trying to have them and being allowed to grab those pictures from the DAM, saying, oh, okay, I have this product reference. I would like to see a couple of pictures of this product, potentially with Asian morphotype wearing them. And oh, I don't have this Asian morphotype. I have only, let's say, Eurasian people wearing this clothes, this piece of clothes, but I don't have the Asian one. And then basically the person receiving the picture from the DAM could also receive picture generated from an AI. So the AI will be nourished by all the different pictures that are actually in the DAM, the product design, all this kind of aspect, and generating some pictures for you, additional pictures for you. So we have identified that those photo session can cost like 5,000 euro to or US dollar to 15,000 US dollar on average. So that's roughly the cost. So here we can have easily a way to generate pictures that might be useful. And if the picture is taken by a user and actually used on a social media campaign or used for e-commerce display or an ad display, then this picture can be inserted inside the DAM and used by other user in the future, because it means by a human it has been accepted in terms of quality for the company. So then we are nourishing the DAM with new picture, new images from this. With our partner, we are able to put in place such kind of, let's say, proof of concepts, working with you to implement this kind of systems as of today. So that's one of the marketing ideas you can implement if you have this challenge of generating enough picture, especially for your e-commerce that is usually pretty heavy on pictures.
Okay, so the next trend is blockchain. So I will try to give a simple and understandable definition. So a blockchain is a digital database that is decentralized and distributed across a network of computers. It is called a blockchain because it is made up of blocks of data that are chained together in a specific order using cryptography. And each block has a unique code, and the code of each block is used as a reference in the following block, creating a chain of blocks that cannot be altered without changing the entire chain. So what does it mean in the fashion industry? So you could use blockchain to provide transparency and traceability. You could use it to verify the authenticity of a product or to track the sustainability of a product as well. So overall, blockchain technology has the potential to revolutionize the fashion industry by providing better transparency, traceability, and accountability throughout the supply chain. And now Benoit will explain to you a few cases.
Yeah, so as Ting mentioned, we really have a usage of the blockchain for traceability. So really on the supply chain of your product creation. So where are the textiles coming from? Where are the different fabrics coming from? And then being able to offer to the user this full vision of the traceability of your product. This is usually done through QR codes technology or NFC technology. So here in the case of Martin Jaglar, we have this technology that has been implemented, and they are offering this kind of services. The NFC tag is a really easy technology that you can use. Most of the phone now are able to read basically without contact some tags of this nature, and from this to I would say open URLs or activate certain services. And this is pretty powerful. In order to implement that in a full logistic chain for a company, it's pretty difficult, and it's really a deep project into the organization. So we look at other solutions. If you can go to the next slide, we try to see and forecast how we can apply this in terms of marketing in an easy way. So our ideas that came out is potentially to create a limited edition and to have digital twin of the clothes that you are offering to your clients. So basically, you can have a way to have a clothes with, here we can see on the picture some technologies that allow to read NFC. So we put a small picture of an NFC tag just close by, so you have an idea how big it is. It's really, really small. It can be integrated at different places inside the clothes or a bag, for example. And then you can offer to the people to have an access to a digital twin of their piece. This can be a really fun, easy campaign to put together, like a 2 to 3 months campaign, something of that nature. And it goes to also to answer the idea of experience for your Gen Z user, for example. They can have that fun experience to have a digital twin of their apparel and use it in the digital life. Eventually, we will talk about the metaverses right after, but it can have a fun experience there. And the limited edition can help you to go for easier logistic chain for a certain limited amount of pieces. So it's not a full system that you have to implement on your full logistic, but maybe on one single device. You're not trying to achieve traceability with it, but you just achieve the link between a digital object and a real object. So this we believe it's an easy implementation and something that can be fun to be done. And that it's also answering the idea of customization by the user, because then it's a limited edition. You can do it for a certain pool of your user and really be close to their expectation.
We have a question in the chat. Could you explain the difference between the QR code and the NFC?
Okay, sure. The QR code is actually a technology that is a visual technology. So you need to use your camera to actually read the QR code, and it's a translation of the QR code into a URL directly. The NFC is actually a tag, so you need a different technology. It's kind of a sensor. You approach your sensor, and this small tag that we have here on the screen will actually give you some information. It will send some information to your device. So it's a little bit different. Both can bring URL information. The NFC can bring other type of information inside. Same as the QR codes, you can have a lot of information embedded in one single QR code. So basically, one is a photo realistic kind of way of taking the information. The other one is by approaching a device to a special tag that you will get the information. So two different technologies that are both hosting some information. One doesn't need to be visual. So it's also used, for example, if you go to Decathlon now, they have this cashier where you just put your products in there. And actually what is happening is that the cashier desk is actually reading those NFC tags, and they connect to the database to check what is the pricing of that item. And they have other type of information in there. So every single product from Decathlon already have an NFC tags inside, for example.
Okay, thank you. The next trend. So here again, we will talk about AI, but this time AI is used to improve the customer experience through personalization. So by analyzing a large amount of data about customer preferences, behaviors, and previous interaction with the brands, AI algorithm can provide personalized recommendation for products, sizes, and style that match individual taste and needs. AI can analyze a large amount of data on fashion trends, consumer behaviors, and other factors. And by using this information, can make prediction and recommendation that could help brands to have better buying experience. And now about the cases.
Yeah, a couple of cases. So we have a clear Nike case here where we can see from a pair of shoes, the AI is able to analyze the way the user likes some of the colors, how they can do color matching with the shoes and the other items that it's presenting. So this is let's say a pretty powerful support, and in terms of e-commerce, it can be really really amazing in the sense of it can suggest pretty rightly some additional products to put in the cart, and in a really, really fast way. So when a user selects a product, then it can automatically generate some ideas of additional items that it can take together. And it's not necessarily taken from the data from the other users, but here it's taken by the AI and analyzing what the user has in his current basket and how we can put it in place. So this is super powerful. On the other side, we have a concept of virtual try-on. So instead of spending the time to go in the dressing room and putting on every single clothes, you have large mirrors where you can see yourself and you can actually dress yourself thanks to an app on your phone with different type of clothes that are available in the retail store. So you can have this access. So those two technologies are pretty advanced and using a lot of different technologies at the background, and not necessarily easy to put in place for every brand. So once again, we have taken the time to think about how can a brand beneficiate from this pretty easily. And we look at the algorithm of two actual social networks like Douyin and Xiaohongshu, and both of them have implemented a similar kind of product matching AI already. What you need to be doing is actually to nourish your account with enough content that the AI can understand and can eventually highlight when people are doing some search or people are doing some matching with certain elements of a video. Then you can say that you have these similar products available for them. So I would say here the marketing ideas as marketers, you can really put in place a new way to think about search. So search was always given to us as SEO, and more recently, you have more other ways to do search directly in social media, thanks to picture recognitions or item in a video recognition. So AI are really useful for this. And you have as well the voice. You have more and more voice control, and you need to be ready to have voice search. So you need to prepare your content so that they can be indexed by the system that will do either picture or item recognition kind of search or voice search. So here also with Brainsonic, we can help you at optimizing this for your system. So when we produce social media content, we always have in mind this kind of power that we can highlight from the platforms themselves and not necessarily investing as a brand into the technology directly.
Okay, so the next trend is or are the metaverses. We put an S in metaverse because we believe there are many metaverses and not only one, but this is not today's topic. So what is a metaverse? So a metaverse is an extension of the internet that creates a fully immersive experience, allowing users to live in a virtual world where they can communicate, collaborate, and engage with digital assets in a more natural way. So what does it mean for fashion brands? So a metaverse can be used to organize a virtual fashion show, to do virtual try-on, and it could also allow fashion brands to create and sell virtual clothing and accessories.
Yeah, here, so there are some elements that we can do in China directly related to metaverses. So we can see here Tmall examples where you have, I think, Max Mara, and you have different galleries that are a bit available on directly on the platforms. And on the right side, we have this Hobby Garden, the brand for tenting. That is really really interesting. So they have a 3D visibility of their product, but they also have this this interface that allows you to project those items into your own space. So you can go outside in a park and project it to see what it would look like using AR technology. And they have a little bit of metaverse where you can have this avatar walking around inside the metaverses that they have created and kind of walk around the item and discover the item. So those are really interesting cases that starts to be available to brands. And I think there is another trend attached to that you want to introduce us. Yes.
Yes. So the next trend is the 3D digital products creation and visualization to create on-demand production and made to other products. So what does it mean? So it means that you can design products that can be tailored according to user needs and preference. And then user can have a very clear visual of the final product before deciding whether or not they want to launch the final manufacturing process. So for fashion brands, it can be used in several aspects. So to do design and prototyping, so user can create digital prototypes of their clothing design, allowing them to test out different patterns, color, and fabrics without having to physically produce multiple samples. And this can save time, resources, and design process. It can also help with virtual fitting. So it is possible to create digital avatars that accurately represent a person's body, shape, and size. And these avatars can then be used for virtual fitting sessions, allowing customers to see how clothing will fit and look on them before making a purchase. And finally, this technology is also an argument for sustainable manufacturing because brands now are reducing the amount of physical waste produced during the whole production process.
Yes, thank you. This is really a really interesting technology, but we can see that it's pretty complex to basically engage, and it's a big change inside the organization to put all of this in place. So once again, here we have used a Nike example where Nike is trying all those new technologies and offering you many ways to customize your product, and then they will produce your item for you that is not produced for any other ones, and they have that in certain certain shop in Shanghai already, and it's available here. So it's not something that is futuristic. It's something that is really available as of today, but pretty complex to put in a full-scale organization. And for this, we have a case studies that we would like to share with you. So it's basically a case study related to phygital experiences. So what is the definition of phygital? So it's a physical object linked to a digital one. And basically what we recommend to have today as a way to experience this is to have a physical object that is connected to an NFT gift. NFT can also be, in China, a digital collectible. So based on your choice of geography, if you want to launch such campaign in global scale, you will use NFT. But if you want to do that in China only, you will use what China called digital collectibles. We also do those kind of actions by doing kind of unique co-branding. So basically, we usually team up a brand with an artist to design some new type of clothes that will be a bit unique inside of a collection, basically a capsule collection, something that is really short-term, available for only certain type of people. This can be eventually considered as a pre-sales, for example, so you don't even manufacture before selling them, same as the ultra customization that we have seen just before. So the idea is you produce only the item that have been ordered by the people. In certain cases, you can even in those experience integrate the customization by the user. So the user can buy something that is customized by the artist, but you can offer even to them some level of customization if you want. So for example, here in a case of a suit, you can actually let the people customize the type of fabric they want to use for their suit. So basically the color, the type of quality of the fabric, summer fabric, winter fabrics, depending of where they are in the world, for example. So this is the type of campaigns that we put in place for some of our clients, where we are able to design the full campaign. And because it's capsule collection, the different elements that we have seen today, like the NFC tags, for example, or QR codes to link the digital with the physical objects, can be implemented. And also because it's limited numbers of production, it's simplified the logistics and the testing for the company to go toward this kind of project. So it's we believe it's a really good proof of concept, and it delivers to the user an amazing level of experience. And we can go in the experience also down to the fact that if you go for global experience, we can even have those digital twins that can become wearable NFTs. So basically digital clothes for an avatar inside a video game or inside a metaverse. So you have metaverses like Decentraland, for example, that are pretty popular these days for fashion shows or digital fashion shows. And this is really a nice place to try. And you could invite, for example, your user to participate to a fashion show where everyone that have customized their digital items can go and show off on a specific events that you would create only for the people that participated to this specific collection. So we are able to put together such kind of campaign, and happy to do it for some of you here today. If that would be interested, we are happy to discuss with you about such kind of innovative campaigns. If you want to know a little bit more, we did on our side, so on Duno with System in Motion, one of the partners we have mentioned in this presentation, we have done with the French Chamber of Commerce. We did a webinar on metaverses related to myths and realities. What are the actual level of those technology? It was done a bit earlier in 2022. So it has evolved a little bit, but there are still really relevant information in that webinar. So we can share the link to you. You can find it pretty easily online. Happy for you to browse it. And our sister agency, Brainsonic, has created a content in French related to AI and brand content. That is also super interesting. So if some of you understand French, you can go, and on YouTube, you can sometimes do direct automatic subtitles in English or in other language. So you can use those functions to have access to those webinars and master classes. So I hope it will bring you some interest. And you can browse those. We have different webinars that we do on a regular basis, also about social CRM, for example. We know it's an important topic for the fashion industry, so this is something that you can also have a look at. And we have some examples for the B2B aspect. So we know many of you have distributors or have partners in the industry. So it's also really important to understand how you can embark them into your strategies for marketing. So it's pretty important. So today we have presented different type of agencies. So we are Dunho, but Dunho is part of a bigger group. The group is called Decapo, in which you will have Dunho, Brainsonic, and Rich are all part of the Decapo group. Our partner System in Motion is not part of the Decapo group. Decapo group is mainly in Europe, active in Europe, but we are having offices in Shanghai as well, as you can see on this map. Our partner System in Motion is out of Shanghai, and for IT integration, it's really nice to have them around us, because China is really specific and we need their solutions sometimes to support us. So one of the ideas today with the customization of the dam to generate pictures through AI is coming from their services. So the group, the Decapo group, is it's about 1,000 people in the world, especially in Europe and in China. So we are here to serve you. We have here taken example today or knowledge from 4 of the agency of the group, but there are more. The group is really wild and have a lot of competencies into retail as well. So if you have certain level of challenges into retails in China, but also elsewhere in the planet, we have some really good knowledge about that inside the group. At this stage, I would like to thank you for your contribution here today. I don't know if we have any questions from the audience at this stage. I haven't seen anything in the chat. I don't know, Ting, if you have any question on your side.
No.
Okay. I think we can thank you all. This content will be available in replay. We will share it to you by email in the coming days. So feel free to interact with us. You can contact either Annie or I if you have any questions or topics that you would like to discuss with us based on the innovations that we have brought up today and some of the ideas that we have generated for you. Thank you for your time.
Thank you.